In today's video, we will be going over all the vehicles and key features found in the RoadCraft demo. From tree harvesting to building bridges, road building and operating heavy machinery. This game has it all. The demo is available on Steam today, and it's definitely worth checking out. Stay tuned for more info. Hello and welcome to the TruScore gaming channel. Today, we will be reviewing one of the first missions available in the RoadCraft demo. As you start the demo, you're greeted by a menu screen. The layout, the music all have the familiar SnowRunner vibe. Welcome home runners, it's time to put your skills to the test. Upon starting the demo, you have 3 missions to select ranging from easy, challenging, and hard. The easy mission, which we will be exploring today, will have us restoring power in the wake of a hurricane. We will need to venture into this rugged terrain, deliver essential equipment, and restore radio communication. As you start the campaign, you are gifted the Armiger Thunder 4 Scout vehicle. You will need to use your scout vehicle to explore and find the other vehicles and equipment spread throughout the map. Our very first objective is to get the tree harvester at the sawmill. The tree harvester is about 530 meters from our current location. One of the very first things you'll notice is the changing weather. The wipers automatically turn on when it rains. The handling is much better compared to SnowRunner, and the scout vehicle feels heavier and well-balanced. The steering is more responsive. The environment is beautiful, from the enhanced water graphics to the tree branches cracking under the weight of your tires. As water begins to flood your engine, you have more time to react, and the damage is not automatic as before. The sounds are enhanced, and you feel like you're actually sloshing through the mud on the way to your destination. Going into this, I was a little disappointed that there would be no need to refuel, but after playing the first mission, it was clear they wanted to shift our focus to bigger and better things. So don't be afraid to explore the entire map, take some risks, and should you get stuck or tip over, you'll find the old familiar recovery option. Other things you'll notice right away is how close you can come up to buildings and obstructions without clipping. As we arrive to complete our first objective, I am genuinely excited to try out another vehicle. The MTK MD-76 tree harvester. Now we're talking. And so are our contacts.
Great work. Now all we need to do is fix up the plant's power supply. You'll want to use the harvester to cut down the trees around the transformer station. Besides, we need the logs. And killing 2 birds with 1 stone is the environmentally responsible thing to do, figuratively speaking.
As we arrive to the job site, we can now switch to the newly available harvester along with 2 other nearby vehicles, which we will get to later. Our next objective is to clear the area of trees. MTK is a Soviet vehicle manufacturer based on a real-life Kovrovets, CHTZ, and KHTZ brands featured in RoadCraft. The tree harvester controls are easy to navigate, and you can really feel the power as you cut down and process the surrounding trees into logs. Overall, the task is enjoyable and very well designed. Before you know it, the area is clear, and it's time to move on to the next objective. Before we move on, let's hop into the MTK 100M Stump Mulcher. This is a heavy piece of machinery typically used in forestry. A forestry stump grinder is a specialized piece of machinery used in forestry operations. It's used to remove tree stumps from the ground by grinding them into small wood chips, essentially shredding the stump using a rotating disc with sharp teeth, allowing for efficient land clearing and preparation for new planting. It's commonly attached to a tractor or other heavy equipment, and is often used in areas where trees have been harvested. By now, you really start to get a sense of how much you will play a role in changing the surrounding environment. Next up is the MTK Proseka 200 log forwarder. A log forwarder is a heavy machine used in logging to transport large logs from the forest to a processing area. Forwarders are also known as forestry forwarders. We will need to use it to gather up all the newly processed logs and bring these resources to the objective destination. To be honest, I really struggled with the crane controls at first. It reminded me of when logging first arrived in SnowRunner, and we all struggled with loading logs onto trailers. But as I got more familiar with rotating the grabber and hitting the correct vertical boom controls, the easier it got, and the more I realized just how much more precision control you have. As you load logs onto the trailer, you can strap them individually. Loading another log on top of the existing cargo automatically unstraps it, which is an improvement over having to pack and unpack cargo. So how does it handle? The answer is about as well as you'd expect. Rough terrain is no problem for this behemoth of a truck. Pay attention to how it destroys anything in its path, which is a lot more realistic than getting hung up on those pesky strategically placed trees in SnowRunner. The tracks you make with heavier vehicles are more prominent than those made by lighter vehicles. Best of all, the tracks don't disappear, so you can follow them later in the game as you literally carve your path onto the map. Arriving to the destination, we can drop the logs off and prepare for our next objective.
I suppose it's about time we got that power supply going. Installing the power cable should be pretty straightforward now that you've cleared out the trees. But there's one catch. Since it's concrete we're talking here, we can't have the mixer stop once the process has started. This means that we need not only a new power cable, but a backup power source too, in case something goes haywire. Luckily, there's one at the transformer station. So, you can fetch it when you're done installing the power cable, or the other way around. Create your own destiny.
Next up, we will use the Voron 3327 cargo truck to get to an area on the map that has some special heavy equipment that we need to use to restore electricity to, the concrete production facility. Voron is a fictional Russian vehicle manufacturer based on the real-life Ural brand featured in SnowRunner that appeared unnamed in Spin Tires and Mudrunner. It handles well except in this scenario, which handles like an overloaded cargo truck. The power and torque are there, but you can feel the heavy load, which makes the trip a lot more interesting. We have arrived, and the equipment we are parking next to is the Vostok TK53 Krot, which is a sort of a cable-laying plow truck. A cable-laying plow truck is a specialized vehicle equipped with a cable plow, which is a machine used to bury underground cables beneath the ground surface without the need to dig a trench, essentially plowing the cable into the soil. The truck provides the power and mobility to pull the plow through the ground, allowing for efficient cable installation in various terrains. The game mechanic is well thought out and designed. When the cable layer is activated, you will see a blue charge running through it. Should you break the connection with the power source, you will be able to see exactly where it isn't connected. This makes it easy to operate the machine and gain an understanding of how the process works. For this objective, we need to reach our destination while connecting power between the 2 points. Arriving at the concrete production plant brings us to our final objective. The final objective is delivering the cargo loaded onto our Voron cargo truck and restoring concrete production to the facility. Having played SnowRunner for over 4 years now, I still can't get enough of the little details like going under this overhead structure without any issue. Overall, I was very surprised by all the new features that are part of this game. We have just begun to scratch the surface with the little bit that is packed into this demo. The second mission that is available on the RoadCraft demo is Clear the Way. According to the mission description, we will be tasked with repairing the facilities and restoring solar plants in the aftermath of a violent sandstorm which has swept through the region. Upon loading, the objective seems to differ quite a bit from the description, as now we need to clear debris, build a road, and send a convoy to the nearby concrete plant. The sandstorm checks out though. This being the demo, we understand the objectives will most likely change in the final version. That being said, let's get right into it. One of the first objectives we can really focus on right away is building a road. The construction site is located near the sand quarry, and all the equipment you need to get started is found here. Let's hop over into our bulldozer.
I a mess on this job, but this may just update the definition. Looks like my kid's room after a study session. I use the term study loosely. I guess it falls to you to play the parent and clean the plant yard. Then you need to build a road and use it to deliver the vital equipment. I'm sure you can handle it.
The Kronenwerk L34 is a bulldozer that can clear terrain and move heavy loads like these boulders. Its key features include flattening sand, paving the way for larger machines, and clearing terrain. To give you an idea of how it grades the sand for road building, we first need to deliver sand to the job site. To do this, we will need the Tayga dump truck. We need to make multiple trips to fill up on sand from the quarry and drop it along the road that is being built. Once the sand has been dumped, we will need to switch back to our dozer to grade the sand. In road building, sand is primarily used as a base material to provide a stable foundation for the road surface, helping to level uneven ground, improve drainage, and resist movement from vehicle loads and weather cycles. It's often compacted to create a strong base layer, particularly when mixed with other materials like gravel, and is crucial for preventing erosion along road shoulders and embankments. Now that the sand has been flattened, it's time to switch over to the DS-135 bunker vehicle, which is an asphalt paver. An asphalt paver is a construction machine used to spread and level asphalt material evenly across a surface, typically for paving roads, parking lots, and walkways, by distributing the asphalt mix from a hopper onto the ground and then smoothing it out with a screed, which is a leveling component of the machine. Essentially, it lays down the asphalt layer during road construction. Once the asphalt has been laid down, it's time to switch over to the DS-55 Katok, which is an asphalt roller. An asphalt roller, also known as a road roller, compacts asphalt by applying heavy pressure to the surface using its weight, either statically, just by its own mass, or through vibrations generated by internal mechanisms, effectively pushing the asphalt particles closer together to create a dense and solid surface. Most modern asphalt rollers utilize a vibrating drum with eccentric weights to achieve optimal compaction. That just about covers the basics of road building and completes our objective. As we make our way closer to the concrete plant, we need to clear 3 areas of debris. You can absolutely use the bulldozer to do some of the clearing. For the large heavy loads, we have the Zikz heavy mobile crane truck. A heavy mobile crane refers to a large, powerful mobile crane designed to lift extremely heavy loads, often used in construction projects requiring the movement of massive objects like large pieces of machinery or heavy structural components. They can lift significantly heavier loads compared to standard mobile cranes, which brings us to the Baikal 5916 mobile crane truck, a smaller version with a cable-controlled crane with a telescoping boom mounted on truck-type carriers. I used this vehicle to clear out some of the smaller debris. When it came to larger objects, the issue was not that the crane could not handle the weight, but rather it just couldn't lift it as high compared to the other heavy-duty crane. With the newly built road and having cleared out all the debris, it was now time to test the route the convoy will be traveling between our desert base and the concrete plant. To do so, we will be using the Step 39331 Pike, which we will use to transport our Armiger Thunder Scout vehicle. The in-game Pike name was also an actual nickname given to the real ZL-133 trucks the Step Pike is based on. Testing the route is not one of the objectives. We are just making sure there will be no issues for the convoy later on. For the final part of the mission, we will need to plot out a course for the convoy using a series of waypoints for the trucks to follow automatically. Now that we are happy with the route, it's time to set the waypoints. To plot your course, go into the objectives on the map and click on the infrastructure route section. Next, click on plot route and start placing waypoints for the convoy to follow from the desert base to the concrete plant. Once you set the final waypoint, the option to dispatch vehicles will appear. At this point, you can wait for the AI to finish the job, or you can spectate any of the vehicles as they make the trip. The final mission that is available on the RoadCraft demo is Seal the Breach. According to the mission description, we will be tasked with assessing damage. investigating cause of a fracking disaster and helping the town recover following a large-scale seismic event. Our first objective is to repair the piping system. We will need to locate a special pipe valve from the local junkyard. We will be using the Mule cargo crane truck. This particular cargo truck has a crane mounted on its chassis, allowing it to not only transport cargo but also lift and lower heavy objects using the crane, essentially combining the functions of a regular cargo truck with a mobile crane. It's also commonly called a crane truck or boom truck, depending on the design of the crane arm. As we arrive to the junkyard, we can switch into the stationary grab crane. A stationary grab crane is a crane that is permanently fixed in one location and equipped with a grab bucket, allowing it to lift and move bulk materials like coal, sand, or scrap metal by grabbing them with the bucket. Typically used in industrial settings like ports, warehouses, or factories for loading and unloading cargo. We can use it to locate the specific pipe valve that we need for the objective and load it onto our cargo truck. Now that we have the valve, it's time to head to the pipe section that is in need of repair. The broken pipe section is located in the southwest part of the map near the village of Northlock. There is a road you can follow to get around the village. Only one section is blocked with debris, but it's fairly easy to get around without having to call in your bulldozer. Once you clear the debris and cross the bridge, continue down the road until you get to the mountain. Once you reach the mountain path, keep following it until you see a steep incline over to your right. This incline will get you onto the section you need to traverse to get the rest of the way to the broken valve. The terrain is rocky, but is no match for this truck, especially when all-wheel drive and diff lock is enabled. Upon reaching the pipeline, all you need to do is unstrap your cargo and use your crane to position the valve. Once the valve lights up green, you can detach it from the crane to complete the objective. Now it's time to switch over to the other cargo crane truck that we left at the logistics base. We will need to travel to the nearby scrapyard and salvage some debris like this steel tank that lights up blue. The color lets us know this particular debris can be recycled into steel, which is the material we are in need of in order to craft 2 steel pipes for the objective. We need to take the debris over to the nearby steel pipes facility. Driving onto the highlighted section will convert the debris into the steel we need to craft the pipes. We bring a nearby tractor and drive that in for recycling. This gives us enough resources to craft up to 5 steel pipes. Once we have enough steel, we can craft the pipes and pick them up directly at the processing facility next to the salvage station. After loading 2 pipes onto the cargo truck, we simply need to visit the 2 remaining sites that have the broken pipes. The 2 locations can be found here on the map. The 2 red sections of the pipeline are where we need to go. Both sections can be accessed by following the same road as we did before. One section is near the village of Northlock, and the other is next to the country base. They can be completed in any order. We started with the section with the mountain pass. This is the same area we visited before to repair the nearby valve. Once you reach the top of the cliff, you can set a marker to guide you the rest of the way to the broken pipe. Upon arrival, we will need to use the crane to remove the broken section. Now we just need to position the new section into place until it lights up green and detach it to complete the objective. Continue watching as we follow the same process to replace the final pipe and seal the breach. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be back again soon with more RoadCraft content, so be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.